Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Studio, and today we're going to be designing and making a cardboard HiveLight. This project is inspired by two things. The first is a type of architecture called a grain silo. Grain silos were used in the past, and some of them are even being used today to store grains and other things. In Buffalo, which is the city that I'm living in right now in New York State, there's a lot of grain elevators that have been abandoned and reused. A lot of them are still in use by companies like General Mills that makes Cheerios and other cereals, and we can smell them here all the time. So I figured, why not design a light fixture based on this type of architecture? The second thing that this project is based on is a beehive. I love the organic shape of beehives and the way that they begin to twist as they grow larger and larger. So I figured I would combine the two together. I would take the grain elevator shape and I would combine it with the ideas from a beehive to come up with a really fun project to make out of cardboard today. If you haven't seen any of my previous cardboard light videos, I highly recommend you check those ones out as well, because you'll get more information on the tools and materials that I'm using in this project. Before we jump into the design and 3D model of this project, please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more. Now with that, let's talk about the design and the 3D model of this project. Here's a 3D model of the cardboard HiveLight showing three different options that I came up with. The first option that you see here on the left was the first one that I was developing before I even decided to look at a grain elevator and combine it with the ideas of a beehive. I won't talk too much about this one, but this is where I started, and eventually it transformed into this one here in the middle. The one here in the middle was really based on the grain elevators because it was more rectilinear in shape. You can start to see the rectilinear shape when I go over it and hover over at the top view. From the left to the right of the piece, you can see that it's rectilinear, and then from the top to the bottom, it's a bit narrower. I took the idea of the grain elevator and I decided to swivel it as I was going up. By doing that, it created this twisting effect that I thought was really fun. But because of the shape, I wouldn't be able to fit more than one piece onto a piece of cardboard in my Glowforge Laser Cutter at a time. So I decided to take this concept and turn it into a square. That's where I ended up with for this project, and you can see it here. Here in this third option, you'll see the square shape that I ended up with, and then you'll see how it's twisting from the bottom to the top. At the base of this light, I'm actually going to cap it off with a piece that has the entire perimeter shape, but has a circle cut out where the light bulb will be. You can't see it here in this 3D model, but you'll see it in Adobe Illustrator later. So as I go around this model, you'll see how it's twisting as it's going up, and because of that, it has a very dynamic design that draws your attention from the base to the top, and as you go around it, you actually get to see how all of the pieces look like they're intertwining and turning into a cable braid. Overall, there will be 52 total pieces, which will make this project 8 inches tall by 9 inches wide. Aside from the solid base with the center cut out for the light bulb to be installed, the only other thing you're not seeing in this 3D model are the corrugations that you'll see in the actual cardboard itself, and that'll filter light through it and diffuse it so that the project looks like it's glowing. I really like the way that this project looks in this 3D model, and the only thing that I would probably do in the future is add on more pieces at the top of this to make it a little bit taller. Right now, I think the proportions work okay, but it might end up looking a little bit squat because of the actual height compared to the width of it. Now let me show you what all of the pieces look like in Adobe Illustrator. Here in Adobe Illustrator, you'll see that I was able to fit 2 pieces on a full-size sheet of cardboard that fits within my Glowforge Laser Cutter. All of the lines shown here in red will be laser cut, and all of the lines shown in purple are going to be engraved. The reason why I have the lines shown here in purple is because I'm going to stack the pieces and twist them as I go up. So all of these purple lines actually consider the angle that I wanted to rotate them. It'll help me align every piece as I'm assembling this project. Because there are 2 pieces on one sheet, I'll have to cut 26 sheets to get the height within the 3D model that I just showed you. The last thing that I have is the base here, which I'm going to cut out of some mahogany wood. The reason why I want to cut this out of some mahogany plywood is to give the project a solid base. The center here is where the light bulb will be installed. You can also see that I included the purple lines to engrave onto this mahogany plywood. I wanted to have the option to begin twisting all of the pieces from the very first piece of cardboard. I don't think I will, but we'll see when we get to the assembly step. So that's my design and 3D model of the cardboard HiveLight. This looks like it's going to be a really fun project to make, but I have a feeling that the laser cutting process is going to take a very long time. The reason for that is I filled up the entire sheet of cardboard with 2 pieces. if it ends up taking 5 minutes to cut one sheet of cardboard, then I have 26 pieces to cut. I'll be sitting here for a few hours laser cutting all of the cardboard pieces before I even start to assemble it. However, I feel like this project is going to be worthwhile, so I'll go through that entire process and I'll show you it in the next phase of this video. Before we get to that, please remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it. Now with that, let's laser cut this project, assemble it, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So that's how I make this cardboard HiveLight. From the beginning to the end of this project, it took about 10 hours total, and that includes the amount of time it took to design the project, 3D model it, laser cut all of the pieces, and assemble it to what you're seeing here. If I were to change the design of it a little bit, I would change the proportions by making it a little bit taller by adding on additional layers. The reason for that is the width of this to the height is making it look a little bit squat. So by adding a bit more to the height of this particular light fixture, it'll correct the proportions and it'll look a little bit better in my opinion. Let me know what you think about the design of this project in the comment section below, and remember to support this channel by liking this video and subscribing for more like it.